Hello, and welcome to episode 31 of the Crazy Knitter Studio podcast. My name is Kristen, also known as Crazy Knitting Fool on Ravelry, and I'm your hostess. Today is Saturday, May 20th, 2017, and I'm calling this episode Me Again. So I'd like to say hi to all new viewers. I hope you like what you see, and to everyone who is returning, thank you. I am here again, 2 weeks after my last episode, so let's hope this can keep up. So getting into everything. The starting lineups, introductions. There's been no introductions in the thread in the Ravelry group. So if you'd like a shout out on the podcast, come introduce yourself and I will do so. Okay, presser. Weeks in review. What has been going on around here? Well, it's been pretty normal. Little man 2 weeks ago had a field trip to Stony Creek Fieldhouse where they've got to spend the day dressed up and acting like 1800s school children. He did not like it. He did not like wearing his outfit. He liked it once they got there and had, fun. But he was not a happy camper at having to dress up at all. But he made it. He survived. So they had a good time. And then last week we also had lunch with a loved one at school. So that's when a loved one gets to come and have lunch with the kids. So I did that. And the same night we had the open house and the ice cream social and the raffle. So that was fun. Clark won a little raffle prize. He got to have an extra gym class. He likes gym, so he thought it was fun. So, and then last week at soccer, my dad and his fiance were there, and little man scored his first goal. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was perfect. It was like the other kid who does not need an instructional league. The kid is like crazy good. But he passed it to Clark. Clark shot it and it was awesome. It was great. He was so excited. So that was awesome. And then last Sunday was Mother's Day. I had a nice day. I got breakfast made for me. I got Thai food for dinner. I didn't have to clean the house. Didn't have to cook. It was awesome. Got to knit, read, watched what I wanted to watch. So it was cool. All right, so into the knitting. First downs, the whips. There's 2 of them. First up are my Hermione's Everyday Socks, which is the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern by Erica Luter. Free on Ravelry. I'm using size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles, and the yarn is Patton's Croy Socks FX in Celestial colors. So here's where I was last episode. So, and I just did the first repeat of the heel gusset. So these are moving right along, but they're kind of on hold while I work on whip first down number 2. So, first down number 2 is my Spartan blanket, I'm calling it. And this is the Hip to Be Square blanket pattern, free on Ravelry by Jennifer Braco. I'm using size 8, 5.0 millimeter needles. And the yarn is Knit Picks Bravo worsted in Dublin and white. So this is for my youngest niece who is graduating from high school this year, and she will be going to Michigan State University. The Spartans, their colors are green and white, and she will be going to the honors college there in the fall studying astrophysics. So here it is. So I'm just starting the 4th repeat. So I don't know yet. She doesn't want an open house. She's like her aunt. She's not very social. She doesn't really like people, and the thought of having all those people around and having to talk to them, and she just doesn't want to do that. So they took the money that they would spend on an open house, and my brother and sister-in-law and the 2 girls went to San Diego and LA for spring break. So we're just going to have a dinner. It was originally scheduled for the day of graduation. I was told that's now changed and they don't know when it's going to be. June's a busy month for our family. We have a lot of birthdays. Then you have graduations and Father's Day and all that crap. So I don't know, basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know when that blanket needs to be done. So I am working pretty much on that nonstop. All right, that's it. Touchdowns. Nothing. Finished objects, nothing. So, sorry. Turnovers, mistakes. I got nothing. My knitting's been pretty well behaved. A drop stitch on my socks, I think, was the most. This is going to be a very quick episode because it's only 5 minutes in. Training camp. Future projects. I need, for work, a sweater to keep there. Even in the summer, especially in the summer, in the morning till about 1 o'clock, it's freezing at my desk. So my sweater right now, I'm rough on my clothes. I'm very rough on, I'm rough on everything. But right here, I have holes. And I've tried patching them. No. So I need to make some kind of cardigan sweater to wear at work. So I don't have a pattern picked out. Nothing. Something I'm going to have to think about doing. All right. Concessions, purchases. Nothing. So, sorry. Birthday's coming up, though. Might have some stuff at the end of June to show you. All right, film room, books, TV, etc., etc. So since I last podcasted, I finished The Fire and Ice, which is, can't remember the character's name. It's not good. But it's a mystery series by Dana Stabenow, set in Alaska. Guy's Alaska State Trooper. It was all right, and I probably won't read the rest of the series. It wasn't that interesting to me. It was kind of, it was okay. Then I also finished Overwhelming Odds by Susan O'Leary. So during my podcast hiatus, I read a book called On Fire by John O'Leary. And John O'Leary is a motivational speaker and author, obviously, and he has a podcast that I listen to. When he was 9, he accidentally, he was playing with gasoline and fire, and there was an explosion. He was burned over 100% of his body. 85% of those burns were third degree, sorry. He was not expected to live. So, and he did. He survived. He's my age. He's 40 now. So he wrote a book about, it was about his experience, but it was more of a motivational, kind of inspirational book. And I read that during my podcast hiatus. It was really good. I recommend it. And this was written by his mother. Before he wrote his, he didn't really want to be out there with his story. He didn't think it was that big of a deal. And he really just kind of wanted to keep it private. And his mom wrote this book kind of more just for family and friends. And it kind of took off, and, so it was, from her perspective and, his dad's perspective of, how you deal with your child who is, not supposed to make it. And, it was good. Cried a couple of times, just like I did during his book. So it was good. I recommend it. So I'm currently reading for my inspirational book still. Only Love Today, reminders to breathe more, stress less, and choose love, by Rachel Macy Stafford. I really like this book. It's really good. It's just short little vignettes, a page or two long, so it's really easy to get through, and, I'm enjoying what she's saying, and it's a good reminder to remember that, the things that we think are so important in this day and age, especially with social media and all that stuff, they're not that important. And my for fun book is A Finely Knit Murder, which is a Seaside Knitter's Mystery by Sally Goldenbloom. So this is a mystery series and set in a small town, which is outside of Boston. And in this, there's a woman who is on the board of directors for this fancy girls' school that's not quite so fancy anymore. She went there. Her family they built the house where that school is and helped found the school, and she's found murdered, and now they're trying to figure it out. It's not great literature, but I enjoy the series, so I recommend it. So for TV, I'm watching the top 100 players of 2017, which is on the NFL Network. It's fun. I always like a good countdown. And, I like this because this is the players voting, and they're the ones who, know these things. So that's fun. I think they're this week, they're 60 through 51. So we're almost halfway done. I'm also watching on NFL Network. It's called All or Nothing. It's a season with the Arizona Cardinals. So this was the 2015 season. They had this film crew follow them for the entire season. So it's kind of interesting to see how things work. It's not quite just as easy as they show up, go to practice. There's a lot more involved than just oh, it's Sunday, let's go to the stadium and play a game. And it's a lot more involved than that. And then on Stars, I'm watching The White Princess. So this is the story of Queen Elizabeth, who was the wife of King Henry VII, mother of King Henry VIII. And she was, okay, it's kind of complicated. So her father was King Edward, who was Plantagenet, York House, White, the White Rose, the War of the Roses. So the Yorks were the White Rose. That's why she's the White Princess. And then she falls in love with his brother, her uncle. But, it was the times. They did those things back then. Who was King Richard. After Edward died, he became king. King Richard, in the Cousins' War, was killed, and King Henry VII took over. And, they're the Tudors. They're the Red Roses. The Red Roses. So they were betrothed, kind of, all that. It was just such, man, the Kardashians got nothing on these people, with all the backstabbing and scheming and stuff they did back then. It's crazy. But anyway, so I read the book by Philippa Gregory that the story is based on, and it's so far so good. It's violent. It's a lot of sex. Definitely not child friendly, as there's some naked booties being shown. But it's pretty good, so check it out. And then finally, for Mother's Day, I got to watch Rogue One. I have not seen it yet. We now have pretty much a movie theater in our basement. My husband got a projector. And for Christmas from my dad, he got a 100-foot projector, screen. So, and we have the surround sound. So yeah, we pretty much have a movie theater in our basement. If it wasn't illegal, I would charge admission and make extra money. But, oh well. So, finally got to watch Rogue One. It was okay. It was, kind of interesting. It wasn't, I didn't think it was that great, but, yeah. We'll see. The next movie comes out in December, so. All right, we're at 14 minutes, and this sucker's over, so wrapping it up, the post game. You can contact me on Ravelry. I'm Crazy Knitting Fool. Twitter, it's Crazy Knit Fool. Instagram's Crazy Knitter Studio. The blog is crazyknitterstudio.blogspot.com. The email is crazyknitterstudio@gmail.com. And I think that's it. Yep. So the next episode will be in 2 weeks, which will be June 3rd. Yes, June. My gosh. Can't believe it. My birthday's coming up. Less than a month. Or, not a little more than a month. But, So I hope you all have a good couple of weeks and stay out of trouble. But if you can't stay out of trouble, you just don't want to get caught. So I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.